Hello, everyone. My name is John Biddiscombe, and it's my distinct pleasure to serve as the Master of Ceremonies for the second induction ceremony for the Wesleyan Athletics Hall of Fame. It is exciting and a real pleasure to see so many family, friends, alumni, Wesleyan community members and join us this evening to honor this outstanding class of former athletes, coaches, and administrators. Now I have the pleasure to introduce Wesleyan's 16th President, Michael Roth, for some opening comments.
Wesleyan thrives because of the efforts, generosity, and thoughtfulness of our volunteers. And our volunteers are alumni and parents of our students, alumni who realize that Wesleyan gave them something so important in their own lives, they gave it back many times to alma mater. So Dennis, thank you for your leadership and your vision in realizing this dream. But athletics is different. It's different because it cuts across the entire university. The scholar athlete at Wesleyan not only excels in athletics, but he or she excels in the classroom, they excel in campus leadership, and they become true heroes of the Wesleyan Alumni Organization. Wesleyan athletics is so important because it exemplifies the qualities we look for in all our students.
But on behalf of the athletics department, I would like to extend our appreciation to all the members of the AAC and the wonderful work they've been doing, the kind of support that they have provided to me and to our coaches. We have regular conference calls, and I can't begin to tell you how enthusiastic these former athletes are in getting re-engaged with Wesleyan athletics and helping us strategically plan for a healthy future in athletics at Wesleyan. I'd also like to thank the 10 voting members of the Hall of Fame Selection Committee. They have been obviously instrumental in making this whole process work. Our first inductee we were honored tonight is James T. Akin from the class of 1972. Jim, would you please come forward? Jim is being inducted into the Wesleyan Athletics Hall of Fame for his accomplishments as an undergraduate in basketball, football, and lacrosse.
It was a different time 40 years ago. There were no women here. There was no NESCAC. There was no freshman eligibility. There was no postseason tournaments. Basically what you played for was the little three. Amherst, Williams, you always finished up with Trinity, but what we played for, I'll show you what we played for. We played for these things, which are microscopic, but if you won a little three championship, you got one. And I was fortunate enough, I got 3 of these things.
Our next inductee is Henderson E. Vance Surdam, class of 1903. Henderson is being inducted as an athlete and coach. Jim Dresser, class of 1963, and chairman of the Board of Trustees, has agreed to respond on behalf of Coach Van Surdam.
I'm pleased to join this accomplished company, and I extend the board's congratulations to all the outstanding athletes entering Wesleyan's Hall of Fame tonight. Unfortunately, Harry Van Surdam has no living family, but he is memorialized in many places around the country, and now, happily, at his alma mater.
Our next inductee is Edgar Fauver, class of 1899 at Oberlin College. Dr. Fauver is being inducted into the Hall of Fame as a coach and leader. Edgar's son Alfred will represent the Fauver family.
His second life was here at Wesleyan, where he filled many shoes. He spent most of his years serving as both director of athletics and college physician, all at the same time. As director of athletics, he coached in a numerous number of teams. He was vehement in his belief, and this is what I feel is very important about my father.
Our next inductee is Ambrose J. Burfoot, class of 1968. Amby is being inducted as an athlete. Amby, please come to the platform. For 10 years, I had the pleasure to assist Coach Elmer Swanson with the track and field team at Wesleyan. Elmer is a walking record book of stories and events associated with Wesleyan running, and I think over the decade that I worked with him, I heard most of them. However, the one that I enjoyed most was how Amby Burfoot trained for the Boston Marathon indoors in the old cage.
I'd like to explain that aberration, the indoor marathon that I ran. It came immediately following my last final during December of a semester here. You've all been through finals at Wesleyan. You know how tough they are. I had a lot of steam to blow off. I'd like to speak very briefly just about two things which struck me as very important as I was coming here this evening. One was about the importance of the spirit of a great university, and the other is about the importance of a strong, solid coach in one's life.
It is fitting that the first two Wesleyan Athletics Hall of Fame classes include members of the women's crew team. From the early days of women's sports at Wesleyan, crew has been a sport where we have had strong teams and exceptional athletes. Amy Baltzell learned the sport at Wesleyan and quickly developed into a superb rower and contributed significantly to the success of the varsity team during her time at Wesleyan.
I loved Wesleyan so much. It really was one of the most extraordinary segments of time in my life. And I'll never forget the first day I got in the boat. I came out with, bloody knuckles and bloody legs from not rowing very well. And Pat Callahan here saying, you know what, you could be an Olympian.
Allegra Burton, class of 1987. Allegra is being inducted as an athlete. Please come forward. In describing Allegra's running career at Wesleyan, the word that initially comes to mind is dominant. Throughout her 4 years on the Wesleyan cross-country and track teams, Allegra led the pack.
This evening wouldn't be complete if I didn't talk about Elmer Swanson, because like Amby, I would say the 4 years that I spent at Wesleyan, Elmer was probably the most important person in my life as well.
Amos H. Magee, class of 1993. Amos is being inducted to the Hall of Fame as an athlete and coach. Amos, please come forward. Watching Amos Magee play soccer was fun.
My parents were here. My parents have instilled a love of athletics in me from the very beginning. They also always tempered that with a strong sense of your duty as a student and how important academics were. And after 15 years of professional sports, I think I can say that I got the last word on that one. So I've been very fortunate in my soccer career, and I played on a lot of very good teams. And I won a state championship, and I won a professional championship, and I won a youth club championship, and I won an international championship as a coach. And the ECAC championship I won here at Wesleyan is still probably the most memorable one I have, because only in that time are you with sort of the best friends you have in the world, surrounded in such a community that really nurtures you. And to be able to celebrate what at that point was such an achievement for this university with my best friends was unforgettable.
Holly M. Sorensen, Wesleyan class of 1995. Holly is being inducted to the Wesleyan Athletics Hall of Fame as an athlete. Please come forward. A few years after opening our new pool, our then swimming coach, Brenda Scully-Straker, who is here this evening, suggested to me that Wesleyan put in a bid to host the NCAA Division III National Women's Swimming and Diving Championships. I immediately agreed with Brenda that we should host the championships because we had on our team one of the top swimmers in the country. and would provide an opportunity for Holly Sorensen to win a national championship in her home pool.
Like I said, it was the best move I could have made. I actually swam faster here, Division III, in 2 of my events than I did at Indiana, while having a wonderful education, like Amos mentioned, being able to pursue my music. It's just a lot of fun and meeting just wonderful people all along the way.
Now we move on to the 1952, 53, 54, and 1955 track and field teams. Joseph Buckman, Richard Congleton, Rocco Fazio, William Gordon, John Miller, Robert Muir, William Rash, George Ray, William Rush. Let's hear it for these fellows. Bill Gordon from the class of 1955 has agreed to respond on behalf of his teammates. Bill, will you please come forward to the platform? And gentlemen, you can have your, go back to your seats, please.
It is an honor for each of us to be here. It is wonderful to have one captain in our group this evening, Bill Ranch, who was just up here. He was the 1954 track team captain. We also solemnly remember 4 other outstanding team captains who have passed on. 1952 co-captain George McIver and Tom Sukup. 1953 captain William Ellis. 1955 captain Lou Thorgerson Tappan.
John Miller, class of 1953, a member of the team, also has agreed to say a few words. John?
It was a great surprise to receive a letter from President Roth announcing that these 4 teams would be honored tonight with it. I don't think we considered ourselves champions at the time. We were really scholars, or at least trying to be scholars in there. And our athletic events, like so many have already reported here, were secondary to our academic studies.
Now I would like to invite John Driscoll to the microphone for a special song.
Well, I'd like to dedicate this next effort to some of the young people who are with us. I mean, the really young people who are with us around the hall, because we would like to set the seeds of recruitment. We realize now at Wesleyan you can't start too early. And the other is to the track team, because nobody sang the fight song for them. And I think we ought to do it tonight. And I just want to assure both the young people and the more senior people that we do sing our fight song at Wesleyan, and we know it, but there are slight adaptations. And first of all, we tend to stand, and secondly, we tend to clap, and thirdly, we end it, and it's a good way of practicing. We end it, as you can see down at the bottom, with 2 words, and I'd just like to have you practice that for a second. 1, 2, 3, go West! Well, that's not bad. I think they're pretty good, John. If you would stand, we'll sing this little ditty. And then it's fight for old Wesleyan, never give in. Fight till the end when might and right shall win. So keep on fighting till victory crowns everyone. Then it's fight, 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 fight for Wesleyan. Go West! Thank you.